Welcome to the StockMiner.com studios here in the Black Hills of South Dakota. I'm your stockminer, Brian Johnson, making professional trading simple. And it has been simple, guys. I know it's been tough, but it has been simple. We were down today, one of the first days in quite a while, where we had an opportunity to maybe uh, get in at the very open at, I don't remember where we opened. I think it was maybe a couple points down or flat for the most part. And could have got long, and by the end of the day would not have made money. But you didn't lose really anything. You down maybe 3-4 points by the end of the day if you played the indices. A little bit of opportunity in some stocks today, at least in the ones I was following. Not a whole lot to speak of. But look at what we're seeing here, guys. Looks like March could potentially make it the entire month without any kind of a really, really major pullback, even starting, let alone coming to a close. But what we see is a move up, pull back, 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 right into support. Here we have this trend line coming up through here, the 20 period moving average coming up through here. Very logical place for this to kind of find support going into the end of the day / tomorrow. Watch to see if we don't get maybe a flat open again tomorrow, maybe a couple points down, couple points up, something to that effect. But if it holds this line or gets back above this line on a gap down in the morning, watch for it to push right back up. This is textbook bull flag. So we want to be very careful if you're thinking about going bearish, which I'm not exactly sure why you would, because you're just guessing at this point. I still remain bullish in the short term, albeit cautiously bullish. It is still bullish. Not afraid to play things to the long side because of these setups. Look at this. This is a bull pullback. No reason to get bearish up here. So stick with the plan. Let the charts tell you where to go. And wait for the more major breaks of lower support. Yes, I know I've been harping on you about that, but it's true. Now, really, because of the climb we've had, I'm looking for maybe a break below the 10,800. Ultimately, really, 10,700 now. It was 10,650 and down in this area, but now I think a break below 10,700 and a close below that may get us on our way to a little bigger pullback. Not sure when that'll happen, so we continue to watch the charts. And with days like this, no reason to think that it's going to be anytime soon. So sit back, relax, enjoy the ride while you can. If you're bearish, your time will come. It's just a matter of sitting around and waiting. This has been a very slow, methodical, albeit you got to hand it to the bulls type of a move. They've been good, moving this thing upwards over the last month or so. Okay, and here we are, right back to that handy dandy little blue line I drew in my chart. And G, once again, seems to be holding very well. So, what do we expect to see tomorrow? I don't know. What have we seen so far? Why wouldn't I expect to see? How about this? How about a dragonfly type doji candle tomorrow? Or something maybe up in this area that keeps us above the blue line ultimately by the end of the day. What would fit nicely up there? I'm just speculating now, guys. What would fit nicely up here is a dragonfly doji. That wouldn't get us any further than where we are, which would stay in line with the motion we've seen, and it would continue to keep us above the blue line, which is consistent with the motion we've seen. And that would give us a high base formation, which is consistent with the motion we've seen. So we'll watch that into tomorrow and see what happens. But once again, watch for this break on the blue line here. That's ultimately what I'm watching on all of the indices at this point. 10,700 being that more stronger overhead resistance or support area now. Should be a support area anyway when we retest it on the Dow. NASDAQ staying very nicely within this channel, also pulling back to its 20 period moving average. Here's its lower support. Be watching that if and when it decides to break down. Yes, this is a potential reversal candle, but we've seen 1,000 of those before. We've been tracking these all the way up, and none of them have really worked out all that well. So, for you bears, you must be very cautious up here. Don't get too excited by this. Looking for a break back up and over 1065 or 1965-ish. That might give you another intraday trade, but we're right up in the zone right here on the weekly. The NASDAQ on a weekly is now reaching this overhead resistance area. Let's see if it does what the Russells did. Now, the Russells got up to my overhead resistance area and still managed to kind of poke its head through. However, right here, as you see, the NASDAQ has stuck there. So we'll see if it follows what I've seen, what my subscribers are following on the Russells, and see if we get the same type of action. And we'll see if we get a little poke above there. But watch this area here. I'm really watching this closely for a weekly close at this particular level. Here we are in a 60-minute SPX. Once again, move up, bull flag, bull channel, bull break, bull move, bull flag, bull channel, bullish to stay above the 20-period moving average. So everything, there's no reason, as I said, to be super bearish yet. So we will wait and see if we're looking for a break here. Really below 1160. I'm still really 1155-ish is still a big mark to me. So is 1150. Probably going to wait to see if we get any kind of a more major move there within this bull move. So that's what I'm looking for at this point in time now. Breaks down below these areas, and more importantly, closes. We're getting breaks. We're just seeing wicks, and then pow, right back up by the end of the day. There is still a lot of interest in buying up this market at the current time. SPX on a daily, just at or on or below the blue line. You can call it what you will, but I could tweak this line to make it do what I wanted it to do. I'm just going to say it's in the same boat as the Dow, and that is sitting right on top of that blue line, waiting for a more major break. And ultimately below 1160 kind of gets us below this previous overhead resistance as well. SPX on a weekly also climbing its way up, but man, these candles just keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Hard for me not to believe that there's not some distribution going on up here, guys. Just really looks like it, really feels like it. VIX on a daily, yeah, okay, up, but yeah, there's no fear. There's really no fear down here. It's just holding this weekly line that we've been talking about down in this area here. So a move up in the VIX. This was good for anybody holding options today, especially if you happen to have some puts or something like that. But holding on to this line here might give us some sort of a springboard. Boy, still way too early to tell. All this tells me, guys, is there's still no fear in the markets at all from the option side of things. Apple on a 60 minutes. Strong, strong, strong. What are we talking about? Yep, up and over 225 or 220.